Hey guys, in this video, I'm going to show you how to create an image that you take that's in portrait mode or a square image, and you would actually need it to be extended. Let's say you want to use it for the cover of a presentation, or in most cases, a hero page. So going from this to this. As you can see, this literally looks like the original photo. It is not. I use generative fill, aka AI, in order to do this. So let's actually start from scratch with the original photo, so I can show you exactly how I got there. So this is the original photo that I have, and essentially you want to create an area of how much space you want it to cover. So usually what I'll do is I'll take the photo, I'll open up the photo, and it'll originally start off with this, and then I'll extend the amount that I want and then place it accordingly. So you go to image, and then you go to canvas size, and then you tell it the amount of pixels that you want. That equates to a 9 by 16 dimension. If you're not familiar with pixels, you can easily just say 9 by 16 and it'll be the same thing. So if we change it to inches, as you'll see, it says 16 width, which is that, height 9. Okay. All right, so now that we've got the area in which we want to cover, again, you can always position this where you want. And for the sake of this demo, I'm just going to position her here so you can see what I mean. So we're going to go ahead and leave her there. And you essentially want to communicate to the AI what you want to do by things that you select and things that you tell it what to fill. So I need it to fill this white space, but in order for it to know to fill this white space, it needs to know what's already happening on the photo. So I'll give it just enough of this part of the photo, this little end piece of the photo, to then communicate how to build out the rest, if that makes sense. So I have my selection tool, or the move tool rather, but I want to go to my lasso tool. And you can use this in the square form too, but for some reason I usually like using the lasso tool for this. And we're going to go ahead and select this little slither of this area and then the remaining part here, because that's what we need to communicate. Sometimes I'll even go beyond this and just select everything but the subject. But this AI is pretty freaking smart, so you don't have to do all that. But I'll show you how to do that on the other side for the sake of this demo. So we're going to go ahead and just take, like I said, a slither, okay, as you can see the whole thing. And then I'm going to go around this white piece, and I'm just going to let go, and it'll select the whole thing, okay? Because of what this is, which is an ocean, another cool thing about generative AI is it's really smart. Sometimes you don't have to tell it what to do. It'll just know to fill in the space. So again, for the sake of the demo, I'll show you on the other side the difference. So I'm not going to specify anything. I'm just going to say generative fill. So I'm not going to say anything here because it's optional, as you can see. It's asking what would you like to generate. And I'm not going to say anything just to see what it gives me. So we're going to say generate. And the tip is saying you can move a generation layer and regenerate it in a new position. We won't have to do all that, but as you can see, it's going, it's working its brain. It's almost done, and voila. It's so wild, actually. Now, mind you, you get 3 different options to choose from, so that way you can see what will be best fitting. This looks extremely well done. I can't even tell where the split is. I mean, I can kind of tell, but really try. It's probably right there. But who the heck, like, no one's going to notice that, right? Like, no one's going to be looking at this photo like, this was generated AI extent. No one's doing that. But anyways, for the sake of this demo, I'm going to show you. Yeah, see, I can tell that's where the split. But this even looks better. I actually like this version, but you get 3 different versions to choose from. So some are a little rockier, some are a little wavier. It's insane. I actually like the way this looks for some reason, the reflection here, but I think this one's actually the best one, okay? All right, so let's do the same thing on this side. And we're going to, like I said, select as much of the photo without the subject as possible, and then select the remaining portion that we want to fill. This time, I'm going to literally get as much as possible without the subject in it, so you guys can see if it actually makes a difference or not. I really don't think it did. Oops, okay. So I messed up. Sometimes it's hard doing the lasso fully around, so usually I'll have to use both my hands, but we're going to deselect this and do this again. Let me actually get this part selected, because that's usually a lot easier. And then we're going to go ahead and select the rest of homegirl. Okay. All right, and it's okay if I didn't get that little part. It's going to understand enough what's going on here. And if it doesn't, you can always generate another one, by the way. You don't have to be married for the first 3 options. All right, so we're going to press generate a fill, and this time I'm going to say, I think you can say like complete photo, or like instead of being that vague, you can say add ocean, waves, and rocks. Let's see. I'm telling you, a lot of times I wouldn't even do all this because it's pretty smart, darn smart. But let's just see. And the tip here is when you don't want to generate something, commands like remove, no, or without can help. Okay, so and I also want to test this out, and maybe we can add like a boat in there, which is very different from the original, but just so you guys can see how this works. Oh my gosh, that's actually really cute. Okay, so this added rocks because I said it. That's really cool. Versus my other version, which is I think this one. No, where's my other version? See, my other version is based on it being moved. Yeah, so my other version, when I had her moved over, it just literally I didn't tell it anything. It just mimics the rest of the photo. So you can get real creative with this. It's up to you. I love that actually. It looks very editorial. It looks very real. But let's see the other options. That's option 1. Ooh, that's option 2. And that's option 3. I don't like that one at all for some reason, but this looks really cool. I love that actually. I love that. Now, if you want to get really playful with it, let's go ahead and add like a boat or something like that, or a yacht, or I don't know. Let's do that. And actually, I can use the same one with a yacht in the background. So generate. And anytime you generate something new, it'll keep it on the same layer. Okay, so you'll have 6 total. Another tip is need more room. Explore generative expand from the crop tool to broaden your image's horizon. Meaning, in other words, you can just make this bigger if you like, if you need more to add to the image. There you go, y'all. So there's your yacht. Isn't this wild? This is so crazy. So that's the first option. That's the second option, a little too close to homegirl. And then rocks. And that is the third option. And I think we can remove the rock. So let's just say add ocean, waves with yacht in the background. And we'll see what happens here. And this other tip here is keep the taskbar at your fingertips. Simply go to the 3-dot menu and pin the taskbar to a position you prefer. I'm just reading these out loud, you guys, so you just have little tidbits and tricks that they mention for your own reference. Okay, the yacht is really close. Let's see these other options. That one's pretty close too. I think we need to specify far in the background. Let's say far in the background. All right. Another tip here is dreaming up of a new background. First select your subject, then invert to select the background and describe what you want to generate. Okay, so there's another yacht. Okay, that's a little further back. And that's gonna hit her. So anyways, I don't really love these options, but I mean, just so you guys can see, so you can play with it. Let's just go back to the original. So let me go back to these guys here, because I actually love these images here. Yeah, first of all, this one looks great. It looks super editorial. And I haven't played with it that much to actually specify certain areas. With this whole yacht thing, let's just circle an area and see what happens that way. All right, let me just say yacht. Yeah, let's just say yacht. Okay, so make sure. All right, the other tip here is didn't find what you were looking for, generate again to get a new variation, which is a tip I've already mentioned to you guys. But let's see how this goes. I think it will work, but just to give you an idea of how to do it, there you go. And that's kind of what I was envisioning. So you can easily add, the yacht in the photo and do your thing that way. Pretty freaking cool. And if you don't want it anymore, you can just delete it. I feel like the yacht should actually be further back and like maybe closer to here. So let's do that. You can even do an island. You know what I'm saying? You can literally make it your own simply from a single photo. It's pretty robust. Yeah, there you go. So that's kind of low-key what I was envisioning. If we were going to do something like that, that looks kind of cool. So yacht vibes look kind of cool. So, but you can save it this way if you want. You can save it without it. I actually kind of like it without it. And yeah, that's how you use Generative Fill. It's so freaking awesome and robust. I'm obsessed with it. And I think this is a great way to not have limitations based off of photos that you come across. So hopefully you found this useful. If so, let me know how you're going to use it. And if you do use it, I would love to see your work. Talk soon.